Hey, and welcome to my devlog for Open Sourcerer. Since last time, I've been focused on building out a proper tutorial and adding a bunch of new assets. So without further ado, here is that tutorial. You can see you've got some dialogue, got some items that NPCs will equip you with. Just blast through these. Alright, we've got a sword and a bow. We can swing the sword, we can shoot the bow. Arrows are coming soon in terms of an item that's going to be in limited supply. We've got saving down. And let's just run through a tutorial level. This is for people who aren't familiar with the jumping mechanic. Not necessarily every gamer, but remember, this game is targeted at an educational audience, so you sort of have to go through every part of the mechanics. Gonna run past these enemies, and oh look, a deer, that thing we're supposed to be hunting. I can shoot it, but what really kills it is falling down here, which coincidentally is the beginning of the programming tutorial. So we can go ahead and pop that open. You may have seen this with a different version of this dialogue in my previous devlog. So I'm just gonna go ahead and jump through this, and jump through this. And we're going to log hello world to console to open this door. Now, a friend of mine had some issues with declaring variables for this next section, so I've added a section of the tutorial which requires you to declare a variable to proceed. So we've declared our variable. I'm going to run that, and you can see we've opened this door. And finally, I'm going to show off this first programming challenge that I've sort of added. So this room has switches, which can be triggered manually or with projectiles. So if I fired at it the switch, that'll open and close. But what you're going to see is that this switch here can't be hit with the bow. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to copy and paste this text and see what it does. And oh look, I shot a fireball, but the fireball's not in the right place. So the player actually has to modify this little bit of text and learn how to interface with the scripting engine to make this work. So I'm going to set this offset to -120 and run that, and we're going to create a fireball that hits that switch. And for this section, the player is actually forced to create 2 fireballs synchronously, because if I shoot one of these switches, what you're going to see happen is it stays activated and it goes out after a second. So that's going to force the player to fire twice at once. So we're going to create 2 instances of fire. We can set the velocity to -1,000 vertically. We're going to set some offsets. And now we get 2 nice fireballs going up and hitting those switches. I can go ahead and go over here and get a mana upgrade, which is going to speed up how fast mana recovers. And if I run back here, it takes me to that first part of the tutorial. Finally, I can jump up here and proceed to a bunch of unfinished levels. So that's sort of as far as I've gotten. You can see I've done a lot of work on the tutorial, but it's time to actually start the action in the game now. So check back in a few weeks, and hopefully I'll have some of that done. Thanks.